going on, and that's why we're going straight in there. We do not want to miss any time. And once again, it is Team Tinker on the Dire side with first pick, which, by the way, they've had every single game today.
That's quite amazing.
I mean,
working out fairly well for him, but not in the last game, obviously. And their first pick every single game has been a hero that you love, Seaver.
Yay, Tidehunter. Ooh. Original joke, Wagger. Never heard that one before.
You're welcome.
I
Feel
sense
free
some
to use
PJ
it.
Salt in that response right there, to be honest. That's up there with my he denied the Aegis response. You know? All right, so VP obviously starting with a really strong opening 2 here. At Team Tinker, they've definitely gravitated towards much less Panda, much more Tidehunter.
Yeah. And this is the same way that the draft went last game as well. Started out with the same heroes being picked up. The bans are also identical, I believe, because VP banned the Vengeful and Ogre before as well. And DP Stark, yeah, it's actually identical so far, entirely. So we'll see who's going to be the first to deviate from what happened last game.
Well, it should be Team Tinker, right? Because their draft didn't really work out.
I don't know if it was their draft didn't work out per se. I still think they could have won that game.
Also,
I mean, the biggest thing, like EGM dying without buyback after buying an Abyssal Blade when you're at that stage in the game and the other team is walking down middle lane, I was like, questionable choices.
Yeah, I was just about to flame him a little bit for that as well, because he had 6,000 gold, bought the entire Abyssal Blade, died, they lost the game straight away. And it doesn't feel good when you're the one that did that. So obviously, pretty unhappy spot for him. Legion Commander did get picked up though by Team Marino Tinkerino this game.
It's kind of interesting to me because prior to the LC having a BKB, now this could be safe lane LC, right? Because we know PyCat plays it.
Definitely.
So it could be an earlier BKB than we're expecting, but I still feel like it's inherently risky to pick him just directly into a Skywrath for the same reason that you would want a Skywrath on your team if you were playing an LC, and that's of course that the Mystic Flare is still pretty terrifying for you. But once he gets BKB, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as Legion Commander has BKB, it's a terrifying hero to go up against. But what are they gonna combo it with? Also, every team is respecting VP a lot in terms of G's heroes. Second phase is always banned towards him. First phase quite often as well, but his Zeus has been banned in like every single game today in the second phase.
And as mentioned actually during the previous game, he's one of the more stable, solid performing mids, so no surprise that respect is given. Actually, one of the things that surprises me is the Legion Commander here, because they have run it as a mid a bit. I'm wondering if they're going to get the time to get the BKB up, as you mentioned, if the supports of Virtus Pro are not going to be too aggressive for that, because they tend to roam around a lot.
Well, maybe, but we also saw what can happen when roam kind of backfires. Sure, you get the rotations going, but if you roam too much very early on, the enemy offlaner gets more space, and Centaur really did a lot of work with the space he was given in the last game, so... Like, ganking is fine, but you still want to try and secure a nice lane equilibrium on your safe lane, because else, you know, Sing Sing struggled to keep up pace with Centaur, but could not in the early game there.
Yeah. And Virtus Pro actually going for something that we haven't seen them run at all today, and it's going to be a Viper. When I think of G as a player, when I see him on heroes like Viper and Death Prophet, I kind of just... It's not that he's bad on them. I feel like they're wasting his potential, you know? But in a way, sometimes you just kind of have to pick a hero that fits the draft, and Viper, if you feel like you have to pick a mid, is a very stable one. He doesn't really lose many matchups. He's still relatively hard to gank, even if he has abysmal movement speed.
Yes.
So.
Do you think there's a chance that we're going to see Seedoy playing the Viper and still have a typical G hero picked up and BCC on something else? Or maybe even BCC on the Viper instead?
I would much rather see Seedoy play the Viper, or maybe, as you say, BCC, in terms of who takes what amount of farm. I would still prefer to say BCC take most of it, of course. But yeah, I agree with Draskell completely that G shines so much on some of the more aggressive heroes like Queen, Zeus, Storm. Hell, even DP he can make aggressive in many ways. It's a static pusher and boring in many ways, but you can be aggressive walking in with the Exorcism and make some cute plays, and he definitely has done so. Witch Doctor, gonna be a pickup here for Team Marino. Death Ward, pretty good along with the Ravage and Jewel combination, but so far I must say Virtus Pro have a pretty impressive lineup. Very tanky, hard to dive into. Let's see how this Legion Commander works out.
Yeah, I think, honestly, LC is a good pick in most games. There's very few times where I think that the LC is just not strong in some way. And we talked about how Team Tinker probably are going to prioritize it as a farming LC. So I think, I don't think has Sting ever played it on Team Tinker?
Who?
Sting. Has he ever played LC for Team Tinker?
Not that I've seen, no. And it would surprise me if he has. BZZ gonna go back for his same hero again. So still 3 out of 4 heroes the same as in the previous game for Virtus Pro.
Why change a winning team?
Yeah, exactly.
It worked out once.
And PA is also extremely strong against Legion Commander since she cannot turn off any of her spells anymore. It was so different when you could turn off both the crit and the blur, but now if you duel a PA, you're still in a very tough spot to win that duel.
Yeah. Actually, before I felt it was way too good against PA because you could duel your auto dead.
Oh yeah.
Like even if you have more items than the LC, because the evasion means so much more to you than it does for other heroes that you just kind of flop over. So
yeah.
Team Tinker going for the AM. All right, I actually like that pick a lot.
So it's definitely gonna be Pycat playing AM, is what I would assume.
Maybe
here.
it's Koikfa LC.
Yeah,
right?
Koikwa LC does fit, you know, the profile for how he plays and so on quite well. Even if Pycat likes to play LC as well, a lot of these players have good versatility. And Sing Sing.
Phantom Assassin versus Anti-Mage. Wouldn't you favor Phantom Assassin a bit since she prioritized the Basher over Anti-Mage going for a Battle Fury first?
In a very strict 1v1 scenario, usually the PA wins. But it's not necessarily about who wins the fight because the AM's not going to be trying to fight. You know,
he wins
AM,
the war.
Yeah, the AM basically goes for the battle of attrition where he's like, I'm going to continually push all your lanes. You have only one method of killing me at this point, and that's if the Skywrath catches me with a silence. And then maybe I get killed by like an initiation by a PA and a Viper, right?
Yeah.
So outside of that, the AM doesn't really want to fight, especially against an Elder Titan, because he's one of those heroes who never buys any flat armor. He goes like Manta, Butterfly later on, he gets Heart. His effective HP is really high, so long as he's not afflicted by natural order, which if he goes to
I really wish he buys the Vlads though. That value is undervalued in many, many games, and many people skip it. But against so much Elder Titan, there's really no excuse to do so. And as you said, playing against a team with no stun, I mean, you could count the Echo Stomp as a stun, but when you're anti-mage, not actually a stun, because it's so easy to play around.
Yeah.
That's the dream right there. You will be so hard to control in a team fight. You can go on Elder Titan, you can go on Skywrath. Omni Knight is the last pick here. Very, very scary game for VP, I feel. Sure, you have pretty good late game against AM, but if you don't have some impressive impact early on, AM gets his Manta, BF, and Vlads up, the fights are going to be very difficult to take.
If you're a Skywrath mage in this scenario and you imagine a bit of a team fight where everybody's there, who are you going to prioritize for the silence?
I guess Tidehunter is first, because of Ravage. But other than that, it's like AM pretty much every time. And you just try to go on him first and foremost. And I like the Shadow Demon pick. It gives him a built-in purge, which they didn't have before. Nobody on the side of Team Tinker was going to make a Diffusal Blade anyway.
Yeah.
And even though like it's not great against what VP have for the purpose of making illusions, but still having defensive disruption to be able to save your AM if he ever gets into a really bad fight, or maybe your LC duels and then, oh well, he's not going to win the duel, we can just save him instead.
And overall, I mean, a hero that they have run 2 games already today, and now they get to pick SD into Omni Knight, which is fairly good counter, to be honest. Just removing Repel and GA from the Phantom Assassin. So works out pretty well for them, I believe, in terms of the draft.
Oh, and I love that EGM is actually the one playing the Shadow Demon, who is of course a bit of a greedy support.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, since there was an upgrade for the Aghanims, are we going to see that? Because you just mentioned 2 spells that you want to purge, and I can imagine that you want to have as many purges as possible.
And you get 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have never seen it competitively, the Aghanims SD. I have played it though, and it's a dream. It's really fun to play, it's so useful. And against an Omni Knight, I could totally see it being worth buying. Not just because you remove the GA, but you slow everyone down so much when they dive in, or just throw everyone or every single charge on a PA if she doesn't have BKB. Works pretty well as well.
It's actually just like 12 seconds of being purged, and you just can't do anything. It's very, very frustrating. I've played it against it a handful of times, and it is an absolute nightmare. But I wanted to kind of reiterate that Team Tinker, even though they have like Tide Ravage, Death Ward, stuff like that, their team fight's strong, but against Elder Titan, if the PA gets even a little bit lucky, your AM will explode during the late game. There's not really much you're going to be able to do to stop it. So I think for a very long time, Team Tinker are going to be more than happy just avoiding engagements. Like, just get your core items up, like try to get the AM as much farm as humanly possible. And I don't know if Pycat is a supporter of the Battle Fury Vlad's then Manta build, or if he wants to just go for Manta straight away and try to play it more aggressive. But again, I feel like Vlad's is still really solid, like you had mentioned at Wagga, just for the sole purpose of having some armor, because otherwise you're going to have none.
It's also, I would argue that Vlad's is a faster farming item than Yasha. If you get Battle Fury into Vlad's, you can just say that I'm never going to base, I can farm Ancients already, no matter how big a stack is, I can clear it, and you also put yourself in a little bit safer spot because your armor is good, and you get the mana that you need. Because even with perfect thread switching, with Battle Fury alone, you will run out of mana if you farm effectively.
Yeah, it's true.
Speaking of the lanes a little bit here, Team Tinker trying to run some dual lane here, probably just hoping that there will be overcommitment onto the Tidehunter. And maybe they could find a kill on the Skyrath, but he does get maybe not scattered out yet. Either way, very hard to find anything here for Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I don't think they saw the Shadow Demon yet, have they?
No.
Oh, no, they have.
He's been, they saw him right there, pinging him out. So that was the first time they actually saw him. Mid lane, though, I mean, you're running a Legion against Viper. That's a tough lane. And while G might not shine on a hero like Viper, he definitely knows how to punish a weak matchup like this.
Yeah. I would definitely say that this is maybe the weakest point of Team Tinker's draft, is this mid matchup. The off lane is not going to go great, but I don't think it's going to go horribly either. I mean, Sing's going to be able to get his experience. He's already got a wand, so it'll be pretty easy for him to spam a little bit of anchor smashing here. And I think with VP last picking Omni Knight, they were totally okay conceding safe lane farm to an AM. So they obviously have a pretty good amount of confidence in that they'll be able to deal with it.
Yeah. Unless Bulba gets a pull off here, looks like Sidoi will get some experience out of this. Already a ping or a drawing as well of EGM's rotation here towards the mid. It is known by the Omniscience.
I think one of the things to really look out for is the 4-minute rune and see if G gets it, because if he gets a haste or an invis rune at that point, basically that's his game starting rune to actually get going in his aggression, which we already mentioned that he likes a lot. But if he doesn't get a rune like that, I'm kind of worried for him if he can play the game like he wants it to.
They're trying mid. Can they get the body blocks? Like, that's the only way they're gonna do anything here.
No, he actually just wants to kill EGM instead. All right, he's dead.
God, G, the confidence just turns around like, okay, you were out of bounds, lol. SD punishes him so hard.
And that's why ganking a Viper is not really one of the most logic things to do.
It's also tough. How do you gank for a Legion at level 4? I mean, what does Legion do in that scenario? He tried to heal up Dusty to make him run away faster, but didn't actually change anything.
Well, I think it's also important that G actually decided to go an extra point into Nether Toxin. We've seen so many Vipers just going 1-1-3 every game. Like, absolutely no change whatsoever, just same thing every single game. And it doubles the effectiveness of the ability just by getting it to level 2, and that's why he killed him.
Yeah.
Like, that last hit would not have killed him if he had level 1 Nether Toxin.
Oh, definitely not.
In the meantime, Pycat's having a decent time up top, but compared to the PA on the bottom lane, they're actually being kept quite even.
Yeah, and it's dangerous if Pycat gets less farm than Viper on mid lane, because, you know, it's always tough to carry when the enemy mid laner is farming more than you. Something we saw previously in the Medusa game and so on. You don't want to fall behind the enemy. It doesn't really matter so much what number you're at.
Regen rune, sadness.
Yeah.
And good rune control, by the way, from Team Tinker. They had the previous set as well. Meantime, top lane, got some action. Let's see the block. Oh, the block is perfect. Seedoy has got no place to go. He will die here, and Team Tinker will get their first kill on the board. There we go.
Yeah, EGM also had their attack animation there to get lasted, cancelled it to give away to Pycat.
Like a good support should.
Like a good support should, yes.
Yeah.
Dazzle, take notes.
Indeed. That's a reference to the Dota 2 reporter guy. The raunchy animations.
So, Yol really wants to harass Sing Sing. Sing Sing is level 4 and he's like, well, you're just a little Omni Knight. I should be able to anchor smash you away, but he's pretty persistent about trying to keep Sing away and out of experience range. Either way, the laning stage is not being that horrible for Team Tinker because they are catching up now on Legion Commander. And more important than anything is just how well can you make things happen when you get your Blink Dagger. If she's a little bit behind the Viper in CS, that's fine.
Oh, Sing Sing in a lot of trouble. Will get silenced up. They're chasing him down. He will end up dead. Tries to do what he can, but to no avail. Maybe Yul? Nope, Yul stays alive. EGM and Bulba came here though, but they're not going to get anything in return by the looks of things, or they're going to try. Soul Catcher comes off as well,
Blink
but he
there.
can just jump away.
Surprised that Bulba didn't go for that kill there as he stunned up the Omni Knight. He was down to 38 HP.
One hit would have done it.
Yeah, I think one hit would be just fine as he, well, maybe 2 hits.
I don't know. I mean, to me, making a play like that, he had no stout shield either, right? I think it just means that maybe he's a little bit shaken up after last game. I don't know. I think that that's a free kill that he just didn't get.
Pycat missing 4 creeps on the tower, struggling a little bit.
Rune. I like it.
Yeah, G trying to
Instantly
find
goes
if he
top.
can do something.
Well, Pycat has got a blink, but he has to blink into the forest because I think that G would not be afraid to dive a
G
tower.
runs into EGM though.
Oh, that's a free kill. Oh, did he not see him? The
No.
nighttime vision.
Tower is under attack.
He ran in to take the stack instead of running straight back to mid. He would have run into him. EGM gonna get out just fine.
He did see the stack. I wonder if he's going to go back for it later on to see if he can steal it from Koikfa, who is, of course, it is stacked for.
Yeah, it's tough though as a Viper to really go out. You're very, very bound to your lane. Top lane, Pycat gets the hammer, smacked down by the staple gun.
Yeah, you got some help there from Jonathan and Skyraz.
Yeah, Silence doing quite a lot of work, and this is tough. He already had pretty tough time keeping up with Viper and PA. I mean, he's fairly even, but dying once sets you back so much in a game like this.
Yeah, especially when you're the hero who pretty much wants to be ahead more than any other hero in Dota. An AM who is ahead is a happy AM because it just means that it forces the other team to commit a lot more than normal to being able to kill you. And if you're at a point where your Manta timing is extremely delayed, the longer the Skywrath stays a threat to you, the harder it is for you to create space for your team later on when you need to. Like we're talking 25 minutes and onward. You should be able to be by yourself pretty much all the time, making VP react to what you're doing. And if your start is not good enough, it delays that by a good margin, and that is just not going to work out for Team Tinker.
If you were assuming even farm, who comes online earlier, I think? AM or PA? That
Well,
would
the
be
PA for fighting purposes, without
Yeah.
a doubt. Like it's not even close. Because you have a built-in 50% evasion, you have a crit as well. Like given the same farm, and both heroes like level 16 or something like that, or level 11 even, the PA most of the time would win the fight.
Yeah, almost always I would say even items PA is better, but AM does farm so much faster if he gets the Battle Fury and Kellan Glade going and just run into a jungle. But he's not really snowballing this game, and it is dangerous if VP...
double damage Omni Knight. Here he comes.
this. The chase.
Did he skill his aura? Oh, he actually uses the Ravage for that. Yol is going to get dueled. That's some extra damage right there for Koikfa. They won't be able to find BZZ anymore, but that's a good rotation for Koikfa. Free damage.
Oh yeah, you'll take it any day of the week, getting that 10 damage out of the first gang. It gives you a nice momentum into the rest of the game. So, of course, this might make it easier to keep scaling. He is currently sitting about 400 gold away from his Blink Dagger. But this Elder Titan is bullying the support so hard on top lane. Really being a nuisance.
Yeah, he's going the old school build as well. Right now he's got max spirit, 3 points into natural order, no stomp at all.
Yeah.
Which I find a little bit interesting. Like, I understand having the impact of just Soul Ring, boom, instant, like guaranteed damage, and you can tell that Pycat and EGM are having a nightmare of a time with this. Oh, they're actually going to kill EGM too.
Dear God.
The harassment.
I mean, that's where the strength is, right? But even with 1 or 2 less points in a natural order, having 1 point in the stomp, I think, is really valuable.
And all this time, I mean, G is just farming middle. It's not the type of G that we're used to, but he is doing a solid job. Actually now has Koikfa back on the lane with him, but he's just farming away, almost got his mechanism ready.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you, Draskell, but also you're going up against a mana burner, and he did kill him previously by kind of punching him down during a silence and slow from Skywrath. Yeah. So just removing his base armor by maxing out your natural order is perfectly fine as well. I think both choices would be okay.
Okay, he's actually just going to staple him. Wow, he hits for 200 damage almost. All right, he's going to eat a cask here. Do they have the damage to kill? Disruption in the back. Jotum is going to get caught out, but yeah, you can't go any farther. He needs to just back up.
Yeah, you will get stapled. Oh, Pycat, you're dead.
Aggressive blink. Oh,
okay.
Oh, Pycat.
Oh, that hurts.
You cannot go into this Elder Titan. He's a monster. No. You have to be careful about that.
BCZ
PA
was there as well.
Okay, PA almost in range to chase, as you say.
All right, that was manly.
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 Let's say manly. Oh, speaking of manly, Koikwa trying to find a duel here against Jotum, but can he do it?
He needs another crit. All right, he didn't get it.
Yeah, not gonna find it, but they did force a TP back, and that's some pressure to mid tower straight away. They also see the AM. Gonna see him now as a TP top, so this tower goes down without contest.
Yeah, surprise blink dagger coming out for Koikfa, or at least surprise because Virtus Pro hasn't seen it yet. So I'm gonna be seeing if he can actually get a good duel off with that one, and he smokes up for it as well. So.
Yeah, trying to go along with Sing Sing and the Witch Doctor. Target seems to be
Knight.
the poor Omni Knight. He was the damage last time. They're like, this guy, guys. I know
and he's
for a
almost
fact.
got his mana boots. Look at him lasting in the creeps. It's gonna be so sad.
Foolish support.
Oh, BZZ.
Oh, they're trying.
Here comes the duel.
He doesn't nuke first.
No, Yul will die though, nonetheless. Or will he?
Oh
He
my
has
God.
a heal. He keeps himself up. Ravish coming up, but Yul's repelled. Can still live. Well, BCZ is actually going in. Sing Sing in some trouble. One more hit needed, and that's going to be the Viper taking him down. Koikfa, Bulba, and Sing Sing, they smoked up with the 3 of them. They don't even get a support Omni Knight.
Well, that was the noob duel, though.
Oy.
No overwhelming odds and no press the attack. It's like only your right click without power treads. You're contributing nothing. You're saying, Witch Doctor and Tide, please give me this kill.
It was a bit naive.
I mean, it didn't really work out as they wanted, running into him there, and of course, PA coming out of nowhere, but still, overwhelming odds takes no time at all to throw out.
Oh,
mid.
Pycat.
Is it gonna go down here? Oh, he does.
That would be a yes.
3 deaths already, and so setback. I mean, ideally you would want to have almost, at least 50 CS on top of what he has right now as an AM. You want to be ahead.
He doesn't have his Battle Fury though, so I mean, you're never going to get that level of CS without a Battle Fury early, I think.
Yeah.
But top lane, Sadoi, he's getting dueled here. Is he going to get a winner this time? No, the Omni Knight! The Omniscience is too strong. He actually gets the kill on Koikfa as well. EGM not level 6, he doesn't have Demonic Purge. He's going to actually block Yul with his...
Yul.
Okay, is Tinker on tilt? Like, what's going wrong for them? Because all the rotations they've made, like in the last few minutes,
it kind of feels like they are actually.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, even without the deaths, if you look over to just how they have been playing, Pycat has been missing a lot of last hits under tower in this game. I'm not saying it to point out mistakes. I'm just saying that they're not playing the characteristic, controlled. Because Pycat has also shown perfect games as lifestealer where he doesn't die a single time, farms every single creep. But it's just not that stellar performance in this game.
It's surprising. They need to just calm themselves, because, I mean, they have an anti-mage. They're definitely not out of this game yet, but the way this is going, Virtus Pro can just steamroll through. I mean, they've got the mechanism, the Viper. They can start taking down some towers real fast. They already got the tier 1 mid as well.
Yeah, G has not been caring at all about who's tilting or who's doing what. He's been hitting creeps and hitting heroes if they come in, killing the SD when he tried to gank him. And now the towers are just his to take, really, with the mech and point booster online. Great spot to be in for VP.
This is actually, I think, worst case scenario for an AM. Like, your tier 1s are dying. You don't even have your Battle Fury yet. You can't actually farm the woods that effectively. He doesn't have a Quelling Blade either, which I think is a pretty big deal. Like if you have to go back to the woods to farm, you kind of want a Quelling Blade, even before the Battle Fury, just because of how much effective HP it actually saves you while you're sitting in there.
True.
What do you do? Where do you farm? How do you go from here?
I mean, you have to off-map farm, I think, for a while. I don't think farming lanes is really that viable right now, unless you're being backed up by, I guess, EGM or something like that.
He has to hide, because right now he can be ganked by so many different things. Like, the Skywrath obviously is his biggest bane, but there are so many dangerous things over on the side of VP. God doesn't really care right now, just pushing casually top with an Omni Knight behind him. I think he's pretty safe. He's gonna go and harass Sing Sing a little bit. Oh, they actually find out Sidoi here. Jewel is on, and this should be a win this time. Committing hard to it, but they get the damage as well.
Yeah, and Pike got actually the one with the killing blow, so
oh, they see Jotun. They might get a second kill here. Are things looking up for Team Tinker?
It seems like it. Jotun tries to do what he can, though. He actually might be giving a kill to BZZ. He did.
Those crits. The heal actually not going to do much damage here, but EGM is going to be dying to BZZ. It's now a 2 for 2, but Pykat's made it out, and now he has his Battle Furies, so even still, like going even in terms of trade, they traded 2 supports for 2, well, an offlaner and a support, so that's definitely beneficial to Team Tinker, and their AM secured his Battle Fury because of that.
Yeah, and they were behind by like 5,500 gold and even more actually, and more experience, so trading even in terms of kills is fine, but with VP being stronger, they're gonna take a tower as soon as anyone dies, really. So all the tier 1 towers already gone. Battle Fury is up, as you mentioned, but this is one of the hardest spots you can be in as an anti-mage.
Yeah.
They have at least Sing Sing with this Blink Dagger now and a Tidehunter, so that might be helping create some space, as they say, but there's not really any backup for Blink Ravage at this point, apart from the Legion Commander, which...
I mean, Death Ward is okay with it. I still think they have enough damage to actually get a kill. Like, you have Death Ward, you have Demonic Purge, keeps you in range of the ward for a really long time. So if you do manage to take a good team fight, I do think that Team Tinker can definitely come back. It's just going to be hard, because the problem with off-map farming is you never apply any lane pressure, as we're going to have to see somebody potentially tanking the gank here. It's a 4-man smoke from VP, and they barely miss Bulba. Looks like they want to try to go for Pycat instead. They have vision, it's daytime, but do they actually have the silence? Yeah,
this time he gets out, but they do get EGM instead. He walks in, and it's gonna go to BZC. Sing Sing blinks in really aggressively. Maybe they could even punish this, but diving a Tide, never really what you want to do. Can he go on Bulba? He wants to.
All right, that's a Midas.
Okay, he got the repel. He's gonna go here.
Well, what are they gonna do, really? I mean, they can duel him, but...
Yeah, they're just gonna walk back, so it's fine.
His repel's almost off. Perhaps that's their cue to actually go in. They're still dancing around each other here, but in the end, I think VP is backing off.
VP want to make their way to a tower and just pressure. They do have 2 creeps alive, more than enough to start pushing down the tower. Pycat has been hijacking, though. Very good presence of mind, just doing that as soon as possible as a carry. But with the mech here, of course, VP could just be very aggressive and push. But maybe they want to take it a little bit safer.
Well, if they don't have a creep wave, they're not going to be able to push, because Pycat cutting the wave, I think, is maybe even a better option than off-map farming. Because if you cut the wave and you see a hero TPN, the only thing that can kill you is Skywrath, really. I mean, that's the one thing they have to worry about. So you'll always see him coming during the day. If you're between like a tier 1 and a tier 2, you should see him.
This could be a big gank down here on bottom lane. They did see PA very quickly, and the rotation is there. They're gonna go for the blink duel. He does use the overwhelming odds and the nuke. There we go.
Oh my god, buy the Battle Fury before you die! He got it. Alright, cool.
Yeah, so
the courier had just gotten to the side shop when he died.
Yeah, but that's still a good pick-off and even more dual damage towards Koikwa, and I think he will need it in a game like this. AM, sure, he's gonna be your carry, but someone else has to create all the space and hold the tier 3 towers while AM struggles.
No, he can disrupt, maybe.
He just did
he just used it, never mind.
Oh, he's gonna... Yeah, okay, actually he dies. There's double Null Talisman and max level on the Arcane Bolt, so plenty of damage. Mass TP to bottom lane. Wanna defend this. Of course, no way to catch the AM, though. So they only have the Skywrath, Silence, and, you know, a bit of slows and chase. But other than that, AM can play very aggressively in his farming.
I mean, VP have 2 Midases, right?
Oh, Joel gets dueled.
Oh.
The duels are real right now. That's a level 2 duel win.
It's starting to become eminent that the wards for Virtus Pro, I mean, they are nice and aggressive, don't get me wrong, but they're getting caught out in their own jungle and they don't really have vision there, so that's become a problem.
Yeah, definitely. You want to try and keep the fights where you have your wards. Boba gonna get jumped on crit immediately, the second crit as well. Okay, BZZ was not very nice to him right there.
Who did he bribe to get these crits? That's what I want to know.
Gaben.
Gaben, please.
Thank you for your purchase.
Maybe he sacrificed something.
I mean, this is nice counter move, though, from Team Tinker. I mean, they're pressuring mid. They just get a support picked off, but they're not just taking it on the chin, right? They're still managing to get something out of this.
Yeah.
And Pycat's farm is accelerating quite rapidly. Like, he was quite a bit behind. They're going to be able to steal this Ancient Sack, too. Press the attack coming out from Koikfa to give him a little bit of an edge in killing that. And he gets silenced, but there's no follow-up from VP.
Got him more with the bad manner. Like, I don't like that you stole my Ancient Silence. No one really around to kill him, but Team Tinker, as you say, if they can clear up the map a little bit, start farming and pressuring lanes, you could potentially play around VP quite well. Yule Scepter completed.
Unless that PA gets an Abyssal Blade or something like that, if Pycat gets a Manta, then he becomes a little bit, I think, unkillable for a while, right?
A little bit unkillable.
Okay, totally unkillable.
Yes. That's true. He did opt to go for the Vlad first on AM. Something I like to see.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah. But the danger is you have no way to stop all this pressure. Oh, actually got dive onto EGM here. He disrupts himself, but there's nothing gonna turn any better.
He gets a Demonic Purge off just to show him that he could, but I mean, Virtus Pro is putting on so much pressure. Perhaps they know that they're kind of on basically a time limit for the AM to start getting bigger and bigger, but for now, they're not letting go.
Yeah, G knows exactly how strong he is. He TPs into an AM and a Legion commander on his own under tower, saying like, you guys cannot kill me. I am this tanky. They do hold their top tower, but also they didn't take the tier 2 on bottom. Team Tinker holding on to that for now. A lot of heroes still sitting around though.
I mean, the nice thing too about having Vlads is that if Team Tinker ever win a decisive fight and VP are off their side of the map, it's Roshan for free.
Oh yeah.
Because you can actually kill it with just these items.
Yeah, no matter what HP you're at, Sing Sing on bottom, getting harassed a little bit. They still have the repel on PA and possible dives here. They're also running Midas on Omni, Midas on ET. Very greedy play by VP, but I think it's fine. Not sure about the Omni Midas, but maybe it's just to catch up his levels because he has only level 9.
Well, Viper is almost back on the bottom lane as well, so it looks like Virtus Pro will really want to have that tier 2 bottom, but they will lose their tier 1 top for it this time.
Well, they realized how important the map control is against a hero like AM. You basically don't want the AM to have any of his towers ever, because it means that you're obviously not going to have the vision, no protection. It makes it a lot harder to freely split push because you're basically going to be by yourself the majority of the game.
Yeah, and it's the tier 2 bottom, which opens up Roshan a little bit, and they are going to go straight into it. They have the mech on Viper. Viper also tanking quite well. They have the blur. Not even that high level of blur right now, as he's only level 11 on PA. But looks like Team Tinker, they want to go for this. Can they scout it with SD maybe? This is going to be a tough fight. No Manta style finished.
Well, Sing, he's got Force Staff and Blink Ravage, so
yeah, maybe
if they want to go for this, they can try. But BZZ, he's repelled inside of the pit right now. They don't have lifesteal. They're going to maybe decide to go for this. Nope.
Okay, they need to get out.
They need to run, yeah. They need to run right now.
Window was missed.
They might be too late. It's a disruption, but that's delay of execution only. Perhaps he bought some time for his team.
Oh, no,
the Echo Stomp. Sing Sing and Wolba, they're gone for. Sing Sing tries to force stuff himself out still. Can they actually catch him? I think they might be able to. He's very fast though, and he will be able to blink away into safety.
Yeah,
I love the synergy between like the Aghanim's Viper, the PA Dagger, and the Elder Titan Spirit. Like you saw, normally there's no way you would be able to chase up in the high ground like that when you don't have vision. But because the Spirit's there and you have 2 extremely long range slows, it's just, oh yeah, free initiation. You're not going to get away.
Yeah, definitely. And that was 2 kills and Roshan, and they still have Aegis in their possession. So BZZ happily gonna go into a Basher build after this Battle Fury to try and stay relevant. But I think Team Tinker, they have to realize that they cannot win a flat-out 5-on-5. They're gonna try and go for a gank instead here on top. They have Koikwa, wants to get a duel off.
Oh, nice hoof stomp.
God,
Oh
this
my
stomp.
god. And now in comes the rest BZZ. He's going to go on Pike. The Ravage still goes out, though. It's going to be Seedoy that they will try to get first, but it's not going to look good for Tinker. Not at all. Legion Commander and Ty just... Oh god, that hoof stomp.
Cheever with her worried face going on as soon as the hoof stomp comes down. What a beautiful triple hoof stomp. And Seedoy, I haven't been too impressed by him previously in like phase 2 and so on, but he has played really well today. Like in several of the games that they have played today, he has really just come together and shown dominance because he played so well on the offlane this game.
CIS teams on land, man. They
Yeah.
always seem to step up their game.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's
I think they
the
actually
thing to
play
say.
better with an audience. I don't even think it's land per se, because phase 2 was technically a land.
Yes.
But it wasn't in front of a big audience. I think it kind of hypes them up, and
I said the exact same thing to Luminous, I believe in like the first game or something, that
Yeah.
when there's a crowd right in front of them and they can feel, you know, the presence, they definitely always play better.
They suck away their energy.
Exactly.
okay, BZZ just
Take
hears
their
no
energy.
man. Okay, I thought he was going to go for that, but then I guess he saw EGM and decided not to. Would have been a tall order, I think, to go for that. But again, there's no Ravage on Sing, so
God, the Aegis pressure though, this is pretty hard to fight into if you're TT.
But they need to. Can they let their Rex go?
oh, he gets purged. Do they have a heal for him? Yol is kind of far away. There we go, there's the heal.
Oh my God, the stomps are so good,
Yeah.
setting up for everyone here. Choose your pick, PA, just take someone. Both the supports getting stunned, just sitting there. Seedoy has played so well.
I don't think they can stop this, honestly.
No, I definitely don't think so anymore. So at this point, it's just damage control. Sure, you took the bottom tier 1 with Pycat, you're farming up. You will get your Manta Style before your next high ground push at least, which is the important part. Just don't die now for this top racks, because you cannot defend it.
40
Oh,
seconds for
God.
another Ravage.
Oh, they're trying still, but this is not gonna end well.
Ooh,
He gets the
wrestling.
blink off though.
Yeah, disjoints the auto attack, and that's going to be one set of racks down in favor of VP. Almost no contention coming out from Team
Pycat
Tinker.
could get a second tower here, but he's gonna go back as the PA comes in. He knows the Basher is too risky to fight against.
He did get that blast, by the way, that you were talking about. So sitting on 2,200 gold as well. So has his Mantle Style almost done.
I mean, I think this is a perfect example of what we were saying, though, is like, if the AM doesn't get ahead in farm, like say, for instance, Pycat had Manta for that push, they would have very easily fought that. Like, they would have been able to go in and at least try to make something happen, right? Because Yol have been repelling BZZ the whole time. So you can go in, maybe jump the Omni, try to go for a kill like that, because you don't die that fast unless you get RNG to death. But, I don't know. I think also in another way, it's actually just insanely difficult for Pycat to ever fight an Elder Titan lineup.
Yeah.
Elder Titan sitting on 4k gold. No problem. Just casual. Offlane Elder Titan.
Yeah, he's so rich. The Midas.
I wonder if he just goes
being
Hex.
difference. Mid,
Oh,
pretty deep
BZZ.
dive here with
Oh,
the Aegis,
EGM's
but EGM, there's no
Super
way to
dead.
get away.
You actually just can't leave.
Yeah, I mean, PA has so low cooldowns. It's 6 seconds and 5 seconds. You put yourself down, you already reset her cooldowns, and she will keep chasing you. So
Does he just buy Abyssal here?
he could. I mean, he could definitely, but maybe he just wants to keep his buyback. I think it would be perfectly fine to run down and buy it.
Is there a way for Team Tinker to win this without Virtus Pro making mistakes?
Well, not without Virtus Pro making mistakes, but even if they make mistakes, you have to punish them accordingly. Okay, that's very deep dive by BCZ. He wants to use his Aegis really badly.
Oh, the
Well,
bash.
he's not even going to have to, because
Oh.
he gets 4-stepped out. Tier 4 is apparently not doing that much against the evasion. He even evades the tower shot to keep the Aegis regen.
Yeah.
What a player.
Aegis, of course, gone, as you said. He's gonna keep going aggressive, though, with the repel. Behind them is AM, wants to go in with the Manta Style. Can they take a fight?
Oh, 4-step forward. No, the Sky
Silence.
Silence. He's not able to get the Ravage off. There's a new repel on the BZZ. It goes back in
Oh
on
my
the
God,
Bulba. That Mana Void.
Okay.
Pycat with a double. He gets thrown up in the air here. He's going to try to go for Seedoy. It's going to be a triple for him.
Really, really nice fight from Pycat, but he was still a little bit late and his team is dead, so it's the typical carry contribution, right? You can't blame him, though, but the two strong heroes are still
Oh,
alive.
first
Oh,
hit
Jesus.
bash. Of course.
Yeah. Boba is there to bail out as well, but they could maybe just turn this again.
He's got another Manta in about 10 seconds here.
Legion Commander
G.
coming in as well. This
This
could
is a
be a
gem.
duel. Yes, this could be a dead
Oh,
G.
Pycat.
Oh.
Or not.
Okay, Kokwa is like, where's my help?
Team. Disruption saves his life for the moment though, so that's good for him, but no kills in return for Team Tinker. Maybe they can get BCZ, but he can get a jump off on G.
Yeah, that's 3 stacks of poison on him, not enough to kill him straight away right now. He's gotta try and run away. Blink to the Viper. DD Rune just laying around, the Rune of Destiny right there. And with Omni coming in, they want to turn this.
Oh, Pycat, nice. Manta on the silence. He's going for Jotum straight away. Sing with the 3-man Ravage. The coconut's bouncing everywhere. Yul couldn't get a spell off for some time. Eventually does get the heal. Double damage on G, just doing so much work. Sing used the Force Staff to get away. Is he actually? Nope, he's stuck. All right. He does end up dying here. And Pycat, he actually gets the kill on Yul as well. So, I mean, they're getting something out of this, but EGM, he might get chased down here. Another duel on a BZZ. They're going to get him. There's 4,100 gold here on Pycat. They're continuing this chase to Doi. He's going to stomp.
Dear God, they pressed the attack on Antimage.
All right, he bought all his items. Gold spent worth. It's nighttime. They don't see him. They don't know where he went.
Yeah, they have no clue right now. Even the ward's dying, but Doi taking a pretty safe path. So it's going to be just fine.
What's the team fight recap?
These fights, though, pretty amazing how well Team Tinker managed to turn it around, getting a lot of gold their way. This is a window for sure.
Yep.
Do you believe in the Lincolns in this game as opposed to the last game?
To not get purged, yes. I mean, the only other thing on the team that eats the purge is duel, right?
Yeah.
And if you eat either one of those spells with repel on, I'd call that a win.
Yeah. It was an old build that people used to do on PA always, like pick Omni PA and just build Lincolns like first item because you don't need much items to hit hard.
Yeah.
This obviously a little bit more refined and better in execution. They have a full Assault Cuirass now though on Elder Titan. It's flying out. I think that's a massive difference in the team fights.
Oh yeah. Now your Vlad's armor does nothing. It's just, if you're around the Elder Titan, you do not have armor anymore.
What item does Antimage go for next? Would it be a heart?
I think he needs Basher, honestly. Like, if he wants to fight, he needs an item to hold people down.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be able to blink in, Abyssal, maybe the Omni, for example, and then just blow him up.
But he
Very
still
little
dies so
time.
fast.
Yeah, he's gonna buy up something before going into a fight. Probably just a Basher straight away.
He
and
could
join
go
the
heart,
fight.
too, actually.
Yeah, but there's no time to complete it before this push. And he doesn't buy anything. He wants to buy back, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Here comes Pycat. He wants to go on the Skywrath. He's doing a little bit of damage, but he's going to be forced back. Press the attack used by Koifa as well. He gets Viper struck by G. And with Manta down, I don't really think Team Tinker can look to fight. Like, he absolutely needs that to be up.
Yeah, range rack's definitely dead here. Maybe they can hold the melee, though. You don't want to get fully raxed.
Poor EGM.
I mean, PC deleted.
Yeah. PC just thrown out the window, basically.
PA is such a strong hero at just killing off any weak support out of position. Wants to go aggressive again, going on to Sing Sing here. And what do you really do when there's a repel PA diving onto your Tidehunter? He does not have buyback as well. He has no gold at all.
I mean, you can't purge him because it's going to get eaten by Lincolns, and you can't duel him because if you go into duel, you're just dead.
Yeah, if he sees anyone right now, he's going to jump again. AM goes in, gets bashed.
He gets the Mana Void off, not enough to kill. There's the GA. I think this is just going to be GG soon. Pycat, he does buy back, but Bulba's going to be dying again. BZZ just does way too much damage.
Yeah,
Koifa, he gets a duel. Oh god, the Omniscience. Believe it. That's a winner right there.
Are happy.
Godlike Viper.
Yeah, Koifa got TP into pretty much what is his death down here. Pycat, the double crit instant GG card.
That's a rampage.
Okay, that means that it's Team Tinker that is going home here on the first day of the ASUS ROG Dreamleague, and the two Virtus Pro teams make it to day 2 against EG and Cloud9. What a game.
Well played, Virtus Pro, and Virtus Pro Polar as well, as they obviously played phenomenally today. Virtus Pro Polar only losing to VP. And yeah, that's it. What an impressive performance really by VP. I haven't always followed them as that strong, but it's as you said, in front of a crowd, on a LAN, they come together and they amaze me.
Yeah, it was a really nice performance, especially in the second game. It's just a matter of the AM being a little bit too far behind in the early game. Like, he obviously recovered very well. Pycat knows how to farm on the hero very quickly, but it's just because the Battle Fury and the Vlad's Manta timing was just a couple minutes too late. A lot of that stuff makes a drastic difference in how much impact you can actually have in these fights. So I think that was a really big part of it. And unfortunately, because of the Omni, even with the Shadow Demon being able to purge the repel from time to time, you're not always going to be able to do it when you need it, right?
Yeah.
So
Was there anything in the draft you think that could have saved Viper, that they might have got outpicked, or was this a pure outplay?
I mean,
I obviously think VP played better, but I also think that their draft was just consistent pressure, right? So until the AM actually has his core items, like you definitely want Battle Theory Mad to minimum, and going for the Vlad's just a means to an end, because he had already lost so much map control by that point that if you just go Yasha, like you can't farm Ancients with it. You really want to stay high HP, high mana, 24/7 on that hero. You don't want to go back. So I think it was kind of necessary, but I just think if he had maybe like 3 or 4 minutes quicker on his items, it would have been much different.
well, I'm going to say that whenever you pick AM, if you don't get complete free farm on your lane, you're already in a struggle. Like, your game plan kind of has to evolve around the fact that you have free farm. And they did not even try that hard to secure the free farm. They were down on bottom lane trying to be aggressive with EGM. Then he attempted to gank onto mid lane. They were not prioritizing shoving away the Elder Titan. And you could see what happened to Seedoy. He was just like, okay, I'm up against the dual lane. I'm going to wreck you guys. And you died 3 times extremely early on your AM. There's no way you can carry in that.
True, and then you got a PA that is not needing to build a BKB because she got an Omni Knight by her side, and that will allow her to get up earlier, so her online timing was a bit earlier. And actually, we have got Jess on stage, and she's standing there together with G for a winner's interview.
Thank you, Shiver. So that second win seemed a little easier than the first one. I noticed that Tinker tried their little one strategy that PyCat mentioned. Do you guys see that strategy that they were doing and you were able to learn from that and adapt and kind of beat them, or did you have a different strategy in mind?
I'm really sorry to look stupid, but I didn't get what strategy we are talking about.
Oh, sorry about that. Previously, PyCat had said that they were a one-trick pony and they only have one strategy that they know. Did you guys pick up on that and learn to counter that?
As for me, I was just going into these games with the mind that I just will try to do my best and just play some Dota. It was a really hard day, and I really feel devastated now. Like, even before this game started, I really felt like super tired. So I just entered this game and just played some Dota, used some spells, fed a bit, and we just played. We expected them to first pick Tide. That's basically all what we know about them. Team Tinker were always super unexpected team, and they were always using the heroes that no one picks, but not picked not so often, something like that. So we just played Dota.
And I know you said you're tired, so I won't keep you long. But finally, like you said, it was a very long day, but you were able to come out on top, and you are headed onward with the competition starting tomorrow. How do you feel? Are you happy at all? Are you relieved, or are you just wanting to get home and get to sleep?
Winning feels a bit better than losing, you know?
Only a little?
Just a little, you know?
Great. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on the great victory today. We're going to go ahead and throw it back to Shiver for the post-game analysis.
Thank you, Jess. And well, post-game analysis, I think there's little